Happy to meet you on with yet another important topic for your preparation. This is going to be on ecological succession. Yes, success. What do you mean by success? Success is something progressing. Yes, so you were in the kindergarten, you were in the grade 1, 2, 3, 4, then 10, 12, UG, PG, research, postdoc. You are moving, no? Movement is always considered to be a succession. You are moving forward. You are moving from one to other phase. Yes? So you have been a child, you have been a teenager, you have been an adult. You are succeeding from one point to other. Likewise, ecology is also undergoing a succession. What is this? This is a barren land. From this barren land, how it is succeeding and it is taking up the next stages is what we are going to say today. Okay, right. So let us see that in detail. Okay, so what is this? The ecological succession. This ecological succession, it is going to be a process. Okay, so what sort of process is this? Just a moment. Okay. So this ecological succession, it is a process. Okay. So what sort of process it is? It is a process that is going to describe how the structure of the biological community, it is going to change. When it is changing, it is going to change over the time. See that once the land was very much empty. Okay. So later you could have seen this even now, no? So I see Bangalore developing from the outskirts, right? So it will be very empty. Immediately one real estate person will come and mark some, some stones, and then it will become like, this plotted area. They will put some grass and they will attract people. Yes. So then few will start constructing house. It will become a developed area. That's all. That is how every city is developing, right? So it begins with a barren land or the empty land, and then it keeps on changing and changing and changing over that time. So it is going to reach the climax. Okay. So if at all, if it is going to be an empty land, this is the starting point. Everybody starts with empty hand. Majority of them, they start their life with empty hands. Yes, you start your brain with emptiness. Then you keep on give the information towards the brain. It is filled and it is reaching the maximum. Isn't it? Every day you are learning and you are trying to reach this phase. Right? Okay. So let us come back here. This ecological succession, it is a process that is actually describing how the structure of the community, it is going to change over the period of time. From time to time, how it is changing. That is what is called as ecological succession. This is the barren land or the empty land, and it is undergoing the transformation, and finally it is reaching the maximum one. Okay, so this is what is going to be the ecological succession. There are two kinds of things. So always there are few avenues. I can really compare this succession with our real estate things. Yes. So you have certain avenue called as pioneer avenues. Have you seen? That will be like, the first area or the first villas that is coming up in a particular area, right? So like that, the species which is arriving first in the newly created environment, it is what is called as pioneer species. What do you mean by pioneer? Pioneer is the first fellow who is entering into that newly founded area. Okay. So that is what is the pioneer species. Okay. Right. So they are going to interact with whom? Among themselves, with one another, and then it is going to begin your community. So this is the first person who is coming inside. Okay, right? So initially there is a barren land. So first person is coming inside. It is what is called as pioneer. Once the pioneer has come, he is undergoing some changes. That is what is going to be called as succession. Once he has succeeded, finally the climax will come. Yes, the end is the climax. Okay, so this definition was given by Clement. He told what is a succession. He says that this succession, it is a process. So what this process is doing? It is having several phases inside. So what are the phases? Number 1, nudation. Nudation means it is empty. The barren land, it is completely empty. Then when it is becoming like livable, so many people will migrate, isn't it? So first is nudation, that is empty. So when it's getting something, everybody will start coming towards that area. Okay, it is the migration. Then it is the excess. Excess is like establishment. Okay, so once you migrate, you just see, okay, this area is livable. So you will start, establishing yourself in that area. That is what is called as excess. And then many people will be coming, following you. So you create a competition among them. So you will give some reaction. And finally, you will be stabilized in that. So that is what is stabilization. So shall we see what are the key points in succession? Number 1, it is the nudation. Nudation means it is empty. Okay, so that is the barren site. Bare site means by nature only it is nobody has inhabited that particular area. By nature only it is like that land. Okay, so empty land, it is forbidden land. Or maybe there is a calamity, maybe there is a flood, or there is going to be some tsunami. So, or there is some kind of calamity, volcanic eruption, earthquake, something has happened. So because of that, majority of the people have shifted away. So that land is empty. So it may be a fresh or it may be a damaged one also. Anyhow, the land is empty. That is what is called as nudation. So succession will begin from the empty land. That is what is called as nudation. And what is the second one? The second one, it is called as invasion. What do you mean by invasion? Invasion is migration. You are going to come inside. Okay, so you're going to come inside. That is what is called as invasion. Okay, you are migrating inside. It is what is called as invasion. So this is going to be the dispersal. Right. Number 3rd step, it is called as excess. What is this excess? I told you that it is establishment. Now you have migrated. After you migrate, you build a house, right? So you establish. How do you establish? Maybe there is the formation of the seed. So the next generation is also going to stay in that particular area, right? So this is how the civilization takes place, and this is how our ecological succession also takes place. Next comes the fight. Yes, think of a movie. So in the movies also, immediately the fight will come, right? Okay, so there is a competition. So there is going to be a vegetation that is well established. Okay, so the hero is establishing himself. Earlier there was nothing. Okay, so it was an empty land. So this hero is going to put heart and soul, and he is developing that institute, and then he is establishing something. Now a villain is coming. That is the competition. So now whatever hero has to do, he has to fight. He has to compete such that he will get the best. Yes, probably he will get the heroine, right? Okay, that is what is the competition. And after that, there is going to be the reaction. Reaction means, okay, if the hero is good, he is going to replace the villain. So he is going to replace one by the another. That is what is going to be the reaction. Okay, fine. So what is the next step? It is going to be the reaction. And finally, this fellow is stabilized, right? So what is the next one? He is going to get stabilized, right? Fine. Oh my God, go away. Stabilized. So it is getting stabilized. So that is what it is taking place here. So what do you mean by stabilization? It is the reaction. It led to the development of the climax community. So climax, after the climax, the movie is over, right? So that is the end. That is the stabilization. So what are the steps that is involved in succession? Everybody try to recap. Number 1, it was the nudation, empty land, nudation, right? Second one, it is the migration. Somebody came inside. That is migration. Number 3, it was the excess. Excess means it is the establishment. Seeds were formed. Once seeds are formed, everything is ready, competition comes in. After competition, there is going to be the reaction. Okay, you want to prove yourself, that is the reaction. And finally, you are stabilized, that is the climax and end of the movie, right? Fine. So this is what is ecological succession. Okay, it's very, very simple. Right. Oh my God, just a moment. Okay, you have a lot of questions from this. It is not so simple one, but still many questions do come from this succession and your ecological things. It's exam point of view, you have many questions from that. Okay, it is reminding us that I'm a very important topic, right? So coming back here to this climax community, this is the final fellow. That is what is called as climax. And there is another keyword called cirral or cirral, or you call that the cirral community. What do you mean by cirral community? It is an intermediate. Okay, so it is an intermediate. So if it is going to be the beginning, it is called as pioneer. Okay, and the cirral is the intermediate. And what is going to be the final? It is the climax, right? In intermediate only you get the interval, right? So that is the intermediate. Then pioneer is the starting and climax is the end. That's all. This is what is going to be your ecological succession. There are two major types of ecological succession. One is primary, other is secondary. Okay. So in primary, the succession starts in the area where no life existed before. Okay, it is an empty land. For example, earlier it was a glacier. Earlier it was like an igneous rock. Earlier it was a sand dome. Nobody lived there earlier. If at all you are starting from that as the bare land, it is called as a primary succession. So what do you mean by secondary succession? It starts with an area where previously existed life has been destroyed and you are going to re-establish them. Probably this will occur very fast because already you know. See, if you are appearing for the exam for the first time, you will be very scared. You have to learn a lot. If you are reappearing, you already know, okay, this is what is going to happen, right? So you'll be well prepared and ready to take up, right? It is a re-establishment. It is faster than the primary succession. The good example is the forest fire. Yes? So what are the 5 steps of the succession I told you? Nudation, then migration, then fast, nudation, migration, and then excess, establishment, formation of seeds. Then 4th point, competition. You are recollecting it? Yes, everybody. Come on, guys. This is the way of learning. Competition, reaction. Finally, it is going to be the stabilization. Stabilization is the climax community. And what is the seer? Seer is the intermediate. Climax is the final. Pioneer is the first one. Now coming to the types of succession. 2 types, primary and secondary. Primary, nobody is pre-existing. Secondary, it is a re-establishment. Something like a calamity. After the calamity, you are going to start it up. That is what is called as the secondary succession. I hope that this is clear to you. Oh my God. See, our system is little bit faster than us. Okay, we should cope up with the thing. Okay. So primary succession. Primary succession means it is a bare rock. So immediately after the bare rock, the lichens will come. But it is not going to take place in a day or two. It will take some time. So lichens will come and then annual plants. See what they have done to this environment. Is the change? It is the same or it is changing? Can you see how is the environment? It is the same or it is changing? It is changing, no? Here it is only rock. Here you see some kind of changes in the environment, right? So this is still more changed, still more changed, still more changed, right? So changes keep on occurring. So it is full of rocks, but now this is getting changed into soil and some kind of changes do happen in the environment also. So this is the pioneer species, this is the cirral, and this is the climax. Climax is the final one. After that you don't see anybody. Okay, so that is what is called as the climax. Okay, right. So let us see what is going to be the primary succession. So the first time the area, it is going to develop something, right? From this bare rock into a fully developed ecosystem, it is what is called as the primary succession. Okay, so it is creating from a bare rock into the fully developed ecosystem, right? It may take thousands of years. It is not going to take just like today or tomorrow. It may take a lot of time, but still it is taking place. The next one is what is called as the secondary succession. So what do you mean by secondary succession? It is not just an empty land. See, this is a forest fire. So already somebody is there, but it is all destroyed. So it is a re-establishment. See, rock is here. Do you think that rock is here? No. Did you find the difference between this image and this image? Here only rock is there. So it has to modify this environment such that you get this stage. But if it is going to be the re-establishment, I agree that the forest fire has destroyed, but the environment is already ready. Yes. So immediately, in just 1 or 2 or 3 years, it is beginning. But here it is taking many hundreds of years to reach this stage. So got the difference between the primary and the secondary succession? Yes, everybody, every term is important, every class is important, every slide is important, every moment is important. Think that your examination is tomorrow, not that, no, every day you have to think that. Don't feel that, okay, my examination is like 6 months far, it is 8 months far. No, it will come immediately. So every day when you are learning, learn like your examination is tomorrow. Then you will remember everything. Okay, so it does not start from a barren location, but it is going through a natural or man-made disaster. It takes place in the area where already the primary succession has taken place. So now you all well understood what is the difference between the primary as well as the secondary succession. Fantastic, guys. So now 2 more types of succession is there. So as many types you want, you can definitely label them. So let us see what is that. It is going to be the autogenic and allogenic succession. So what is going to be this autogenic succession? Auto means self, right? Automatic, self. It is a self-generated. Nobody is helping him, poor fellow. The self-generation, it itself is responsible for the succession. So this is going to result from the interaction between the organism and this environment. Nobody else is helping. The organism and this environment. You and your book is deciding your success. It is autogenic. But what is allogenic? It is externally generated. Okay, so within the community, a volcano is deciding. Okay, so or flooding is deciding, a drought is deciding, a forest fire is deciding. So this is what is called as allogenic succession. So there are 2 types of succession, already primary, secondary. Now autogenic and allogenic. Auto is self-driven, allo is something from the environment. Very nice, everybody. Come on, guys. Let's make to the next type. It is going to be autotrophic and heterotrophic succession. So what do you meant by autotrophic succession? The succession, it is starting from the green plants. Okay, green plants means it is auto in a medium that is rich in inorganic components. Usually this is what happens, no? So your food chain, it begins with the inorganic substance. From that inorganic, a plant is growing. Nutrients, it is leading to the growth of the plants. Plants or herbs. Okay. Then it will be eaten up by a herbivore. Then a carnivore will come and eat the herbivore. So this is what? The beginning, it is from the green plants. Okay. So it is rich in inorganic compounds. So that is how the succession is taking place. It may be a heterotrophic succession. Heterotrophic succession means everything is put together. Like your bacteria is there, your actinomycetes is there, degradation fungus is there. So it is going to be present in more. Compared to this inorganic substance, these organisms are only going to be more in number. Then it becomes the heterotrophic. If your plant is more, it is autotrophic. If your organisms like bacteria, these detrivores, it is going to be more. It is called as heterotrophic succession. Okay, so I'll tell you seriously, in ecological succession, if you learn these 3 models, you are done. Exam point of view, this is what is very important. Okay, right. So there are different models of ecological succession. One, it is called as facilitation model, tolerance model, and then inhibition model. So 3 major models of ecological succession are there. What are they? Facilitation. I help you to become this. Then you go to next. It is the facilitation. Tolerance. Okay, somebody is there, you are tolerating. It is the tolerance. You inhibit, you don't inhibit somebody, but if you inhibit, it becomes the inhibitory model. Inhibition is toxic. Yes, there are few toxic people around you also. All right. So let us take the very first model. It is called as facilitation model. So what do you mean by this facilitation model? Okay, the initial species, that is the pioneer species, it is going to alter the environment. I told you, no, initially rock was there. Okay, the rock is altered to become the soil. So in this rock only all these lichens were able to grow. Now it is becoming a soil, no. So all your annual plants, they began to grow. Okay, so this is what is a felicitation. So the earlier species or the pioneer species, it is altering the environment. The moment you alter the environment, it is paving the way for the next species. But what it is going to do? It is going to inhibit its own. So that is what is called as the facilitation model. Okay, right. So what happens generally? One community, it is going to modify the environment. So this environment, it is becoming unfavorable for existing, but it becomes favorable for the upcoming. So see, this is the first fellow, no? This first fellow, he is what is called as the pioneer species. Okay, so this is A. This A, it is favoring the second fellow. Okay, but after this one, after this rock has become the soil, will it be favorable for the lichens? No, it is becoming not favorable for the lichens. Okay, so it is altered such that the own is inhibited, but it is making a move towards the next one, right? So see, and this is going to lead to the next one. This is going to lead to the next one, right? So this is how it keeps on moving. Okay, this is what is called as facilitation. So one is promoting the movement of the organism towards the next stage by altering the environment. This is what is called as your facilitation model. Okay, so the next one, it is called as the tolerance model. So the previously existing community, it is going to have no effect. Okay, so it is having no effect. Whether it is entry or exit, it is not having any effect. It is not promoting also. It is not inhibiting also. It is simply sitting. It is tolerating. It is not promoting. It is not inhibiting. That is what is the tolerance model. Okay, usually the tolerance, it will have more thing. 0. No plus, no minus. If it is plus, it becomes facilitation. If it inhibits, it becomes I. Okay, minus. But this tolerance, it has 0 effect. And exam point of view, I will tell you how to identify this graph. Usually they will give like this. Okay, for A, there is a single arrow. From that, they will give it like B, C, D. Okay, so this A is favoring, like A can become B also, C also, D also. Okay, finally it became B. Then you have two choice, C, D. Okay, and then you have only one choice, D. Got it? This is how it looks like, the graph. Or else it may have an open system. Okay, and then you have a species A, and then B, and then C. So it is open. One way it will have only one arrow, but all others will have the double arrow. Okay, this model is also possible, because seriously you have to remember this graph. Many times questions has come from this concept. That is why I am asking you to remember this graph. I will show you a PYQ also. So see here, from A, it is reaching B also, it is reaching C also, it is reaching D also. Okay, it is not like A should move only to B. In facilitation, it was like that. No, A means it should move only towards the B. And then B will move only towards the C. That is facilitation model. But here we are talking about the tolerance model. Anybody can become anybody here. Okay, so you don't have the order. That is what is the tolerance model. And the third important model, it is what is going to be your what is that? Inhibitory model. So in case of your inhibitory model, the fellow is going to get inhibited. He is showing a negative interaction. Can you see it here? It is showing a negative interaction. Okay, it is showing minus. So that is what is an inhibitory model. So what are the three models? And here you will find only one arrow. It is all blocking, two-way, like between it is, but it is all blocking. Okay, so in case of your facilitation, it is plus. Okay, so A will become B, B will become C, C will become D, but D is the climax, no. So that is why it stops there. Okay, so it cannot move after this. Okay, so then it was the tolerance model. it was an open system. You find one arrow A, okay, and then here it is B, okay, it may move between them, and then C, and then D. Everybody, it is going to contain a movement. Okay, but in case of inhibitory, it is going to produce some kind of toxic chemicals. So because of the toxic chemicals, what happens? It is going to make them unfavorable. So, okay, so it is secreting some kind of toxic chemicals. So it is becoming unfavorable. I hope that this is all clear. No more waiting. We will take up a CSIR question such that we will understand this concept in a better manner. All right, guys. So let us take up this question. Very, very important question of the day. Right. So given below, it is the two pattern of the ecological succession. So this is A, B, C, D. By seeing this only, you could have identified what is this model. So one is giving rise to the other. So what is this model? Model X is going to represent what kind of interaction? See this model Y. From A, it is forming C also, it is forming D also, it is forming B also, right? So what it is doing? Yes, very simple. The options they are asking which is incorrect. Oh my God, they are asking for incorrect option. Model X, it is representing the facilitation model. Okay, model Y, it is going to be the tolerance model. Okay, so this model X, it is representing the, model X is representing the tolerance. Definitely not, isn't it? It can never express your tolerance. It should be facilitation only. And this is representing the inhibition model. Definitely this should be the incorrect answer and correct answer for our question. And as per the model, your C can outcompete B. Okay, so let us see this. Okay, so let us see this. Already we know the answer, but yet we will see this sentence to understand it better. They have put that as per this model Y, okay, C, it can outcompete B, correct? But it can invade a habitat in their absence. Absolutely. That is what it is, a tolerance. Okay, so tolerating. Okay, anybody can jump anywhere in this tolerance model. As per the model X, A makes the environment more suitable for B to invade. I told you, no, it is toxic to the A, but it is favoring the B. So that is also right. So only incorrect option is option B. Got it, everybody? CSIR PYQ? Okay, this question you are only going to tell me, you are only going to put the answer in the comment box. I will check it whether you got it right or not. So take the question 1 and 2. 1 is what kind of model, 2 is what kind of model. They are asking based on the above, which statement is correct. It is going to represent the facilitation model. This is the tolerance model, or it is the facilitation tolerance model and the facilitation model, or facilitation model and inhibition model, or it is representing the tolerance and inhibition. Put your answers in the comment box. This is a CSIR PYQ. I hope that now you are all thorough in ecological succession. Always whenever you are studying, please study the concept along with the PYQs. Then only you will get an idea of how the questions are being asked. If you are simply going on learning, you will not have an idea of how the question is going to come. So this is the proper manner of studying. Please study. Definitely everybody will crack the examination. If at all you have not liked and subscribed to my channel yet, high time. Come on, come with a subscription to my channel such that you will learn a lot from me. Okay guys, I'll catch you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.